Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story: mould, rats and leaks, despite residents of a housing development in Hume being charged tens of thousands of pounds for repairs.
I actually have dreams about ceilings and walls coming through, and when you wake up in the morning and you're listening for rain, it's not a normal way to live.
One woman claims her bathroom ceiling collapsed minutes after she finished a shower. Also tonight, Greater Manchester Police says it's determined to root out corruption after sackings over contact with sex workers. The Anfield impasse is over. Mo Salah is back in the Liverpool squad to face Brighton after talks with manager Arne Slot. Our latest Christmas stars celebrating the team bringing festivities and fundraising to the Fylde coast.
And it was a poor start to the day today, but it ended up being really rather lovely. Gorgeous photos sent in. How are we looking for the weekend? Join me at the end of the programme. I'll give you all the details.
Greater Manchester Police says it's determined to root out corruption after sacking a uniformed officer and 2 civilian staff over their contact with sex workers. The force has also suspended a superintendent as it investigates another 8 officers and 2 of its civilian workers. They're accused of contacting sex workers in Manchester without a legitimate police reason. Our reporter Andy Gill joins us from the newsroom now. And Andy, how did these dismissals and suspensions come about?
Well, Annabelle, Greater Manchester Police have an ongoing campaign by the Anti-Corruption Unit to identify behaviour that's not compatible with expected police standards. Now, obviously, officers and staff do have to contact sex workers for investigations, for safeguarding. But this inquiry looked at non-legitimate contact with sex workers by officers and by staff. And the Deputy Chief Constable, speaking on BBC Radio Manchester today, said if you do that, you can't work for the police.
This investigation is self-initiated. There's a lot of innovation around it, a lot of covert tactics that we're using, and it's uncovered what is relatively a very small number of people, but people who are not fit to carry the badge.
Well, Annabelle, as you said, one officer and 2 staff members have been dismissed because of this, and 8 officers, including a superintendent, and 2 further civilian workers have been suspended. The Deputy Chief Constable said the force used undercover methods to see what people were doing on their work mobile phones.
What we've done looking at work devices, i.e. mobile phones, is look at all those contacts and any that are irregular. Right. I.e. people contacting sex workers for what we would call unlegitimate but non-work purposes. Right. Unlegitimate contact with sex workers is not compatible with being a police officer.
And Andy, this is part of a wider crackdown by Greater Manchester Police on unacceptable behaviour.
Yes, you may recall back in May, a GMP inspector called Toby Knight resigned the day before a disciplinary hearing into how he'd contacted sex workers hundreds of times while on duty. The force said he would have been sacked had he not resigned. But the anti-corruption unit's work goes beyond that. In October this year, it was announced that 26 police officers, staff and contractors were facing misconduct proceedings over allegations that they somehow got their computers to make it look like they were working from home. Now, there's 100 officers been dismissed since 2021, but the force point out that's still a minority of all the people who work for the force.
Andy, thanks very much. Let's get a roundup of some of the other news today. What's described as an isolated outbreak of scabies has been confirmed at Nobles Hospital on the Isle of Man. The itchy skin condition is caused by a mite which burrows under the skin to lay eggs. Manx Care says the situation is being closely monitored and there's no wider risk to the public. The pop superstar Taylor Swift broke down in tears after meeting the families of the girls killed in the Southport attack. In a new documentary, she's seen being comforted by her mum. Speaking in the series about her Eras tour on Disney+, which launched today, the 35-year-old is revealed to have met with the survivors and families of the victims before her sellout shows in London. Transport for Greater Manchester workers have begun 4 days of strike action over pay today. More than 200 Unite members who work on ticketing, passenger assistance and information services started the action in October and are striking alongside Unison members. They've rejected a below-inflation pay rise. 3 wolf-type animals that were found roaming the streets of Lancashire are said to be making remarkable progress after being rescued. Police captured them in Preston in October and they're now being cared for by Wolves of Wiltshire, who say the canines are a wolf hybrid. Now, earlier this week, the government announced £500 million to be spent on youth services. It'll go towards building 250 youth centres, as well as recruiting more youth workers. Between 2010 and 2023, local government spending on youth services fell by 73%. I've been to one charity centre in Blackpool, which helps vulnerable and homeless young people in the resort, to speak to the very people who could benefit from this funding.
Are you all right doing that? Yes. Just be careful because it is so blooming hot.
Lewis is making jam. It's not a life skill he'll probably need, but it is a welcome distraction. He's currently living in temporary accommodation. Here, it's warm and it's safe.
Yeah, it looks about ready now.
Street Life helped 333 young people last year, all with their own challenges.
Vulnerability is, if I had to put it in one word, vulnerability. So not all the young people that we work with are homeless, but all of them are looking for something else or have gone through all kinds of trauma.
Here they can get shelter, a cooked meal, a shower, support for mental health, addiction and advice on housing, education, even how to vote.
Part of their vulnerability and part of the issues that they have with their mental health is about lack of control over their lives. So what we want young people to do is to engage in what's going on around them, both at a national level, a local level.
Blue is one of Street Life's success stories. He was homeless just 2 years ago, living on the streets of Blackpool.
I struggled with some mental health very recently, and I came here, I spoke to people, I spoke to the staff, and it's just been there. It's a tool that can be used and that they're there for you no matter what.
And what is life like if you're having to live on the streets in Blackpool in the winter as you were?
Very dangerous, very cold and very unpleasant.
Scary.
Yeah.
The centre is a charity, like many, filling the gap where public funded services had shut. Local government spending on youth services fell by 73% between 2010 and 2023. The government's £500 million National Youth Strategy aims to reverse what the Prime Minister calls a lost decade for young people.
How we see young people's future is one thing, but how they see their own future, that's the important bit. And that's where the money needs to make the difference. So yeah, we welcome it.
Blue still comes to the centre for support, but he also helps other people with their mental health issues. And he started up his own business. What would have happened, do you think, if you hadn't been able to access this place?
I wouldn't be here.
Why? What do you mean?
My mental health before I accessed it was at the very lowest. And when I say the very lowest, I was constantly in A&E for mental health. I was constantly reaching out for help but not getting any.
And how is life looking for you now? What's the future like?
Like a bright light.
Oh, thank you to Blue for speaking to me. I'm going to be back, oh, there I am in fact, with a special edition of Politics Northwest on Sunday at 10 o'clock, looking at the government's youth strategy. No politicians, just young people giving us their views. Refreshing change. Right, let's get some more stories being read online in the Northwest tonight. The Mount Pleasant multi-storey car park in Liverpool, where lifts have been broken for more than a year, has been criticised. Repairs aren't scheduled until midway through next year. All primary school pupils on the Isle of Man will be offered free treatment to prevent tooth decay. The Manx government will offer fluoride varnish from January. And new mums in Lancashire have described a specialist service set up in Chorley to offer them mental health support as being absolutely amazing. Find out more about those stories and others on bbc.co.uk/local news or on the BBC News app. Now, the team at Hoylake Lifeboat Station is on the lookout for a new operations manager. The man who currently occupies the role is retiring after half a century of service with the RNLI. Candidates must live or work within 20 minutes of the station, and that's where Annie Knowlson has been to find out more.
These training exercises are crucial to keeping RNLI staff at Hoylake Lifeboat Station up to date with their important roles.
So I joined in '75 on the shore crew, so that will be up there.
And so is this man. David Whiteley is the lifeboat operations manager at Hoylake. He has spent 50 years in the RNLI and 15 years in charge of the lifeboat as coxswain. Whether it's launching in hurricanes or saving people and their pets, David and his team are on hand to help, come rain or shine.
It's an all-weather lifeboat. The idea is it'll go out in all weather. So, if there are people's lives at sea, then we're going, as long as it's safe to do so. But yeah, the confidence in these boats, they are really well built and fitted out. The boat before this one, we had 4 crew members on deck, knocking hammers on chains to release the boat to launch it. And there's a toilet on board now, yeah, first time ever. Very posh. I'm not sure I'd like to be using it in a Force 8, to be honest.
The station's walls are steeped with the RNLI's history in Hoylake, and David's family are a big part of this.
It's my dad there, middle one.
His father joined the crew in the late 1950s.
And 3 kids joined in as well. There's lots of families that have had grandfathers, fathers, sons. It's quite a common thing through the RNLI where that's gone on in coastal locations.
But after 50 years, David has decided it's time to hang up his waterproofs, and the station is looking for a new lifeboat operations manager to lead the team.
David's role is to ensure that the operations at the lifeboat station run smoothly, that the crew are competent, that the equipment's well maintained, and also to ensure the well-being of the crew and to make sure that they're available 24 hours a day. If this sounds like a skill set that you have, you've got until the end of December to apply.
So I would say enjoy it, embrace it. It's a great team we've got here. Been together, a lot of them have been here for quite a long time.
David's decided to spend more time on dry land now, opting to buy a caravan and look after his grandchildren. But his time on the ocean's waves will never be forgotten by the team here and by the people whose lives he saved. Annie Knowlson, BBC North West Tonight, Hoylake.
Now, we were going to bring you a story, as we said in the headlines, about some problems that residents were having with a housing development in Hume. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, we can't bring it to you during this programme, but Kelly will be back at 10:30 with that story. Let's move on, though, now to sports. And after saying he was thrown under the bus, is Mo Salah about to be thrown a Liverpool lifeline? Ian, what's the latest with this saga?
I'm a technical difficulty, by the way, I tell you. We found out this evening that Salah is in the squad for Liverpool's match against Brighton tomorrow. That was a big question that's now been answered. As regards his long-term future, manager Arne Slot said today there are no reasons to not want Mohamed Salah to stay. Other Premier League points of note this weekend include whether Manchester City go top, can Everton edge closer to the top 4, and can Burnley finally end their losing streak. These shots of Mo Salah at training before the Champions League game he was dropped for in midweek have become synonymous with an unfortunate chapter in his otherwise glorious Liverpool story. And this morning, yet again, his future was the main topic of conversation at Arne Slot's press conference.
What I need is a conversation with him. I think the next time I speak about Mo should be with him and not in here, but yeah, you can keep on trying, but there's not much more to say about it that I speak to him today. And like I said, the outcome of that conversation determines how things will look tomorrow.
Hours later came confirmation that Salah will be in the squad for tomorrow's game at home to Brighton, following talks with Slot as Liverpool look. A 1-game unbeaten run would do for Burnley at the moment as they look to end a run of 6 successive defeats at home to manager Scott Parker's former club Fulham.
The next opportunity for us is Saturday, 5:30, at home with our home fans as well and our home supporters. And it's a game that hopefully we can go and execute some of the real good things we've done this year.
Yeah, we're pleased with a lot of the things we're doing. We want to keep it going. We want to get in a strong position and keep sort of challenging near the top if that's possible.
We know the quality of Arsenal. They have a really strong squad, a fantastic manager, but it's all down to us because we just focus on what we can do really.
And that might yet involve another Premier League title. In the Championship, after 3 successive draws, Blackburn Rovers could do with a win at fellow strugglers Portsmouth, while Preston North End in 5th will look to continue their playoff push at 4th bottom Oxford.
Wherever we go to try to win the game. If you finish with a point, you go, yeah, any away point is a good point, but we're always looking to get the 3. When you're going into games knowing that you've got threats in your team, then that gives you the belief that you can get 3 points.
I've got to say, with the Premier League, no Manchester United, they play on Monday, so we'll preview their game then. There's a full programme in League One and League Two, as well as the Women's Super League, all of which will be covered across our BBC local radio stations. But don't just take my word for it.
In Lancashire, we start in the Championship as Preston North End travel to Oxford at 12:30, and we finish at Turf Moor at 5:30 as Burnley welcome Fulham in the Premier League.
Another huge game for Arne Slot as he looks to get Liverpool back on track against Brighton at Anfield. That one's at 3 o'clock on BBC Sounds.
And on Radio Manchester this Sunday, your commentary comes from the Premier League as Manchester City travel to Crystal Palace. The coverage starts at 1.
How about that, all set to a generic rock backdrop? Finally, on football, it's been confirmed Macclesfield SC's FA Cup third-round match at home to holders Crystal Palace will be live on BBC One on Saturday the 10th of January. Now, this time last week, we were live at Sale Sharks. There's a badge as they open their European Champions Cup campaign with a narrow home defeat to Glasgow Warriors amid something of an injury crisis. Tomorrow, they go to French side Clermont.
It's not like there's a spiralling nature of us throwing the towel in or us kind of feeling sorry for ourselves. That's not the feeling we have around the camp. There's just one of a tightening of the group and knowing that through consistent prep and in time, some real quality players coming back, this will turn around.
We are, of course, way off the start of the new domestic cricket season, but there's news at Lancashire today with Sir James Anderson named captain of their county championship side for 2026. He actually successfully led the team in 5 games last summer, but has now got the job full-time after signing a 1-year contract. And the event that defines festive sport for a lot of people these days is underway. It's the PDC World Darts Championships, and Warrington's Luke Littler, of course, the reigning champion and world #1, got his title defence off to a winning start last night. He beat Lithuania's Darius Labanauskas 3-0 at Alexandra Palace, and this was his reaction afterwards.
Felt very special, and obviously, like I said, leading up to this tournament, this is my first ever PDC tournament, so it holds a lot of memories here. But yeah, like I said, hardest game out of the way, and we come back in 10 days.
There was another North West winner last night, the former champion Michael Smith from St Helens, who beat the Lancashire Rose Lisa Ashton. Liverpool's Stephen Bunting is among those who gets underway at the weekend. He's up on Sunday. So much darts, Annabelle, so much sport tonight, in fact.
A lot of sport, but it's good to see so much of you. Frankly, that's what the viewers want, I think, isn't it?
Thank you. I hear laughter in my ear from the production gallery, as if it's sarcasm.
But, you know, speaking of seeing lots of people, I love those radio trails for the radio commentators on the football, because you can see the faces that go with the voices. So when you listen, you feel more part of it now.
Do you? It's almost like you nicked my line from last week. But, yeah, the voices behind the faces, as I like to say. But, yeah, there they are in all their glory. A rogues gallery among us, and promoting local radio sport is very, very good.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Ian. Very good. Now, Oh dear. It began as an idea to cheer children up at Christmas during the pandemic. But 5 years later, Santa's Sleigh Parade has become an annual tradition for thousands of people along the Fylde coast. And it's all for charity. So far, the team behind it have raised tens of thousands of pounds for local hospices. Anna Jameson went to meet and surprise them.
It's a parade like no other.
Merry Christmas! Oh, my favourite by far.
And tonight, Santa has come to Fleetwood.
The work that they do is immense. They bring a community together every year. And we look forward to it every year. We've started a little tradition now.
And it's a tradition that started during the pandemic.
So that first year, we organised it in 4 days. Said, and we'll just give sweets out to the kids because they've not seen Santa this year. We went out, we didn't know what to expect, and it was heaving, it was brilliant. We just went from there, and we do 8 parades this year now, and
all over the Fylde coast.
All over the Fylde coast, yeah.
Starting in Fleetwood, the parade tours Thornton, Kirkham, South Shore, Grange Park, Poulton, Hambleton and Bispam. And so far, they've raised nearly £50,000 for Brian House Children's Hospice and Trinity Hospice in Blackpool.
We've got 352,000 residents across the Fylde coast, and we serve all those residents, so it's really important that end-of-life care is there for them when they need it most.
And I bet you look forward to this event every year, do you?
I love it, absolutely love it. I always said last year, I was like, I'm not a big fan of Christmas, but when I joined the parade for the first time, honestly, I was in tears. It was just seeing the little children and they look at Santa and it just makes Christmas for them, and it's just fantastic. I'm totally into Christmas now. That's it.
I was going to say, you look like you are.
I know, yeah.
And before we set off, we all gathered round. This is unreal. Look at the level of support tonight.
Brilliant. Gets better and better every year. It really does. The community really come out and support us, which that's why we do it. We do it to raise money for Brian House, but we do it to put smiles on kids' faces as well.
It's just grown and grown. Just got bigger and bigger. For Trinity and Brian House, it's massive.
You're quite emotional.
Oh yeah. I'm a crier anyway.
Don't cry on me.
You're all right the minute.
Listen, I know that you want to set off. We had an email from a viewer on BBC Northwest Tonight. His name is James, and he said that you guys make such a big difference on the Fylde coast that we thought it was only right that we came here not empty-handed. We've come here with a little surprise. So who better than Mr. Santa Claus himself to come round? Santa, come on. OK, and what's this, Santa?
You've been nominated tonight by BBC Northwest Tonight to retrieve the Christmas star for all your hard work, dedication to the things we do for Trinity and Brian House.
So there you are, a Christmas Star Award. Big round of applause, everyone. Are you crying yet?
Nearly. Nearly.
This year's Santa's Sleigh Parade finishes in Bispam on the 17th of December. Anna Jameson, BBC Northwest Tonight in Fleetwood.
Oh, tears all round. You used to do a lot of Christmas stars.
I did. I got axed.
Been axed for doing them, but that's
brutally axed.
Sport now. But they're lovely to do, aren't they?
And my dad, actually, Colin, big fan of Kay, says she should get a Christmas star.
What for?
Just for being Kay.
Oh, that's lovely.
Well
done, Colin. Well, go on then, do
Colin.
a Christmas star worthy weather.
Oh, the pressure is on. Well, it was not a very good start to the day today, was it? So that didn't receive a star, the rain this morning. But it did on the Isle of Man. You remember Peter Kenyuk? I did one of my 25 and 25s. Beautiful start to the day here. And it brightened up after that early rain. Chester, I love Chester at Christmas time. It gives that little sparkle, doesn't it? Thank you for sending those photos in. So, like I said, it wasn't the best start to the day. How are we doing for the weekend? Find out in 1 second. Thank you for your pictures. Follow me on socials or become a BBC Weather Watcher if you'd like to send those in. So this weekend, I'm afraid there are warnings. I'm going to come to those in a little while. Expecting strong winds as we head late Saturday and throughout till Monday, and rain which will get heavy at times. There's a slight glimmer of something turning cooler in about a week's time, so we might get cooler for Christmas. Come to that as well in a minute. Now, as we go overnight tonight, it's calm, but this next front starts to push its way in. The isobar's tightly squeezed, so it is going to turn really quite windy, like I said, more especially as we head later through tomorrow. Not tonight. If you are heading out, it's actually a cooler night than we've had lately. Plenty of clear skies, the odd isolated shower, but really few and far between. Now, the breeze will stay moderate as we head overnight, and temperatures in the coolest spots, you're looking at down to around about 2 degrees, cooler than that in more rural spots, so it will be noticeably chilly compared to waking up and feeling really quite balmy of late. The best of the sunshine will be first thing. A lovely start to the day. Quite a dry, fresh feel. We'll start to get cloud increasing on the Isle of Man. Then that will start to sweep in to Cumbria, and we'll just start to see cloud increasing across all parts by the end of the day. And the breeze will have started to have picked up. We're looking by tomorrow afternoon to be about 20, 30 miles per hour as we head through tomorrow night. We're looking at gusts, particularly for the Isle of Man and Cumbria, could get 50, 55 miles per hour. Temperatures tomorrow back into double figures, 11 degrees, 52 in Fahrenheit. And from 6 o'clock tomorrow, that's when we've got the first warning. Now, this is for heavy rain from 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. and Monday. Cumbria, Sunday into Monday, you've got an amber warning. We are expecting, give or take, 200 millimetres of rainfall for parts of Cumbria. Localised flooding. Please keep an eye on the forecast and do check into your local BBC radio for updates. Now, Sunday itself, we're going to have this band of rain that's going to come and go, but especially for the Isle of Man and for Cumbria, heavy and persistent rain. And that is going to continue with us through Monday, affecting all parts. Merseyside, you are not in the warning area, but that again could change. With top temperatures, though, on Sunday, 12 or 13 degrees, which is almost double where we should be at this time of year. But given the rain and the wind, it's not going to feel particularly pleasant. And it stays unsettled as we start your next working week. But a week on Monday, high pressure is starting to creep in. Will it be cold enough for a white Christmas? Well, you'll have to keep watching, won't you? That's your forecast.
I say fingers crossed, but it's nicer than this mild
What if you can't be bothered keeping watching? Just tell us now, is it going to be a white Christmas?
It'll be cold, crisp and even. And actually, for a white Christmas, you only need one snowflake falling somewhere in the UK. So the chances are high.
Lay the bets now.
Lay them now.
Yeah.
Can I also say, Paulina, thank you so much. She had Southport on the map for this past week. So thank you. If you want to send one in for next week, please do.
Lovely. Well, next week we're going to be out and about, but we'll tell you about that nearer the time. For now, though, thank you for watching. Kelly is here with your 10:30 update. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.